story of the prodigal son is also the story of coming home. But it's filled with so many different pieces, different characters, different messages, that I'm going to spend 3 weeks talking about it from different perspectives. From the perspective of the younger son, and then the elder son, and then the father or mother. And I haven't decided which one I'm doing there yet. But I don't know if you've ever seen Henry Nouwen's book, The Return of the Prodigal Son. He sort of meditates on Rembrandt's painting of the prodigal son and does some reflection not only on the parable but on his own life in relation to that. And so I will be reading from this book as our non-biblical reading for the next couple of weeks. The younger son's leaving is a much more offensive act than it seems at first reading. It is a heartless rejection of the home in which the son was born and nurtured. When Luke writes, quote unquote, and left for a distant country, he indicates much more than the desire of a young man to see more of the world. He speaks about a drastic cutting loose from the way of living, thinking, and acting that has been handed down to him from generation to generation as a sacred legacy. And then Nouwen continues as part of a reflection on his own life. He says, yet over and over again, I have left home. I have fled the hands of blessing and run off to faraway places searching for love. This is the great tragedy of my life and of the lives of so many I meet on my journey. Somehow I have become deaf to the voice that calls me the beloved, have left the only place where I can hear that voice, and have gone off desperately hoping that I would find somewhere else what I could no longer find at home.
And the scripture reading this morning is from Luke chapter 15, verses 11 through 24. Hear the story again for the first time. Jesus added, a man had 2 sons. The younger of them said to their father, give me the share of the estate that is coming to me. So the father divided up the property between them. Some days later, the younger son gathered up his belongings and went off to a distant land. Here he squandered all his money on loose living. After everything was spent, a great famine broke out in the land, and the son was in great need. So he went to a landowner who sent him to a farm to take care of the pigs. The son was so hungry that he could have eaten the husks that were fodder for the pigs, but no one made a move to give him anything. Coming to his senses at last, he said, how many hired hands at my father's house have more than enough to eat? Well, here I am starving. I'll quit and go back home and say, I've sinned against God and against you. I no longer deserve to be called one of your children. Treat me like one of your hired hands. With that, the younger son set off for home. While still a long way off, the father caught sight of the returning child and was deeply moved. The father ran out to meet him, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, I've sinned against God and against you. I no longer deserve to be called one of your children. But his father said to one of the workers, quick, bring out our finest robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and shoes on his feet. Take the calf we've been fattening and butcher it. Let's eat and celebrate. This son of mine was dead and has come back to life. He was lost, and now he's found. And the celebration began.
Such an idiot. Such an idiot. At least you used to be my best friend. Maybe after all this, you're not anymore. In fact, I'm sort of surprised that you came at all. In fact, I can't believe all of these people who are here, all of these friends and neighbors. I don't know why they'd come, unless maybe they came out of some warped sense of curiosity. What am I doing out here, away from the party? I feel foolish. No, it's more than that. I feel ashamed. I don't deserve this party. No, don't go. I don't want you to go. I need someone to talk to. I haven't had anyone to talk to in years. So I suppose everybody thought I was dead. I probably should have been dead after all the stupid things I did over the last couple of years. I just did so many things. And I was so prideful. You know, and then I didn't even think. I had no common courtesy to send word that I was okay, or to send money home, or to do anything. Why would they think I was still alive? And you know, at first I was just full of myself. And then I was just too embarrassed. I failed miserably. You know, it's hard to admit, but I was so young and so selfish. But what do you know at 16, right? You know, everything seems so real. I would get up and I would work hard every day. And I would go out in my father's fields, and I would work the fields, and I would work with the livestock, but I felt like it was wasting my life every day. And all I could see stretched before me were endless days of dirt and cow manure. And I wanted more than that. I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to make money. I wanted to be rich. I wanted all of those things. And then I wanted to come home, and I wanted to show my father what I'd done. You know, I thought I was so much smarter than he was. I thought if maybe I just had a little bit of money, I could make some really good investments, and I'd have it made. Make a lot of money, I'd have the easy life, and I'd come home and I'd show them what I'd done, and I'd get the respect I deserved. Maybe I would even throw it in my brother's face, the success I'd made of myself. I'd buy fancy robes, and maybe I'd come home with a wife and some kids, but look at me. I'm penniless. I got nothing to show for any of it except the rags on my back. And what was I here anyways, you know? All I was Gideon's younger brother. You know, you're nothing if you're the younger brother. You know, the older brother gets twice the inheritance. They get the father's blessing. They get authority to do whatever they want with the property and the business and the land. And so he was going to get it all. I was nothing. Oh, and he acted like he was going to get it all. He's been running this place for years. He's been telling me what to do for years. Benjamin, go bring the sheep in from the far pasture. Benjamin, slaughter some chickens for dinner. Benjamin, plow the fields. I was sick and tired of being told what to do and when to do it and how to do it. Every day I'd feel like I'd worked and worked and worked for nothing. No respect. And it didn't matter. I didn't feel like anybody cared. I was just the younger son. And so one day I'd had enough. And so I went to Papa and I demanded that he give me my share of the inheritance. I looked back, I didn't even ask. I demanded my share of the inheritance. I can't even believe how arrogant I was. I am appalled, just appalled at what I did. I treated him as if I wanted him to be dead. And that wasn't really it. I wanted more. I can't believe it when he gave me the money. But I wasn't about to ask questions. I deserved it. So I took it and I ran. I went. I was out of here, off to prove my way in the world. And I didn't look back. And everything went okay for a while. But then I made some foolish choices, and then more stupid choices, and I ended up with nothing. At the end of the day, you know what I realized? I finally figured it out. That I was searching to fill an emptiness that was inside of me. Trying to fill it with something, money or women or success or whatever, and I didn't know that the place in me that needed to be filled was a place that needed love and needed purpose and needed to be whole. What happened? What didn't happen? You really want the story? So I went out, and it wasn't long before I met a guy who sold Persian rugs. Gorgeous, gorgeous Persian rugs. I mean, the quality of these was amazing. And I got enthralled, and we got to talking, and I found out, wow, do you know what the profit margin is on those Persian rugs? And so pretty soon, I found myself working for this guy. And we're raking in the dough. And I'm getting rich, and I'm buying fine wines, and I'm buying expensive clothes, and I'm buying Italian leather sandals, and I've got women who are after me. And yes, one of them painted my toenails purple, and I haven't been able to get it off yet. But I had everything, or I thought I did, and if I didn't have it, I was well on my way to getting everything I'd ever wanted, anything I ever felt I deserved. And I was patting myself on the back. And I was scoffing at my brother and my father, who were home working their fingers to the bone on that godforsaken farm. And then one day I woke up, and the guy was gone. And the rugs were gone, and the money was gone, and the women were gone. And I had no idea what happened. I'd been used and thrown out, and I never saw it coming. And on top of that, I had run up some debts. Apparently with the wrong people. And so very quickly I had some very not nice men looking for me. And when they finally caught up with me, they took everything I had, they beat me within an inch of my life, and left me lying on the side of the road. I thought I was gone. I thought I was dead for sure. And then who comes along? But a Samaritan. You know all those things we've been told about Samaritans all these years, Aaron? They were wrong. And I felt awful for having judged. This man took me in, he got me the help I needed,
He brought me food, he brought me clothes, he took care of me until I was well again. And I had nothing to repay him with. And I should have gone home then. But I was too proud. I thought, just a little glitch. I got it now. I got this figured out now. I'll be fine. But I didn't want to get beat again, so I left town. And I started skipping towns, kind of on the run. And I slept in fields and behind haystacks and under trees. And I'd work a little bit here and there for some food. And then the famine came. And I was starving. And I thought, I've got to find some work. And I stooped low enough to work for a pig farmer. I'd pretty much lost my faith anyways, so why not? After all, my papa always took care of his hired hands. Surely if I worked for someone on a full-time basis, they'd take care of me. I'd at least have a full stomach. So I went to work for this guy, and I worked hard. I really did. And he didn't care. I didn't even get a place to put my head. Still laying out in the fields, didn't give us any food. I wasn't much better off. And then I hit rock bottom. It was cold, cold one night. And I didn't have any more than these rags that are on me now. And the only way to stay warm was to sleep with the pigs. I know, you're trying not to laugh at me. Good Jewish boy raised not to even eat pigs, and now here you're sleeping with the pigs. And to add insult to injury, while I was asleep, some goat wandered in and ate my shoe. And I suddenly realized that, it wasn't so bad on my father's farm. I sat there thinking, I've lost everything. I've lost my shoe, I've lost my self-respect, I've lost my family, and my job, and my home, and my faith. I have nothing left to lose but my life. And it was at that point that I finally said, I'm going home. It can't get any worse than this. And I thought, I'll go home and I will throw myself at my father's feet and beg for mercy. I knew I didn't deserve to be called his son anymore. But maybe he would take pity on me and at least give me a job and feed me and take care of me like he does all of his hired hands. And so I came home. And it would have been easier if he'd been angry with me, if he'd hardly acknowledged me. But I actually felt even worse when he saw me coming down the road and he ran out to meet me. I have never seen Papa run, by the way. And he ran out and he threw his arms around me, and he hugged me, and he kissed me, and I'm trying to get this prepared speech out of my mouth of how I've been an awful son, and I was wrong, and please forgive me, and beg for it. I'm trying to get this out, and he just talked right over me. And he called the servants, and he called for this robe, and he called for this ring. Do you know what this ring means? It means I'm still his son. Even though I don't deserve to be. And then before I know it, he's telling somebody to kill the fatted calf, and we're having a party, and he's inviting everybody he knows. It's wonderful, but it's so hard. I don't know how I missed the love that he had for me. I don't know how I missed the way he treated people and cared for people. I don't know why I didn't realize what he built here, not only for his family, but for everybody else. How did I miss that? And so I have a second chance. I have a second chance, and I will not take this for granted. I intend to be better this time, and I intend to learn to be more like my father, to be more forgiving, to be more compassionate, to be more generous. And I intend to rekindle my faith. You know, I was so angry with everyone, including God, for so long. I thought God had no time for me, the younger son. And even though I forsook God, God was with me every step of that journey. And so I will rekindle my faith, too. It's hard. Aaron, have you ever done something so bad that you didn't feel like you deserved forgiveness? Couldn't forgive yourself. And yet someone forgave you anyways. And someone loved you anyways. And someone accepted you and welcomed you anyways. Well, apparently I will begin my second chance with a big slice of humble pie and a heavy helping of gratitude. And I will go back into that party. And be the best person I can be. What I searched for has always been here.